And settling into our posture, this posture of dignity. Allowing the spine to lengthen and straighten. And whether we are perfectly content or experiencing some mental unrest, the practice of meditation allows us to awaken to the love we have, the compassion, the joy and wisdom that is our true home, abiding within each of us. So this awakened mind is an unstoppable wellspring of happiness, peace, and contentment. And we have moments of touching it as we abide in stillness, allowing this awakened truth to be our guiding light. And by way of setting our intention to reflect on this path laid out so clearly by Lama Tsongkhapa, in his middle-length Lam Rim, this source of all my good, to reflect on these words as we sit quietly and think of their meaning. The source of all my good is my kind Lama, my Lord. Bless me first to see that taking myself to them in the proper way is the very root of the path. Grant me then to serve and follow them with all my strength and reverence. Bless me to realize that this excellent life of leisure and endowment that I've found just this once is ever so hard to find and ever so valuable. Grant me then to wish and never stop to wish that I will take its meaning night and day. My body and the life in it are fleeting as the bubbles in the sea froth of a wave. Bless me thus to recall the death that will destroy me soon, and help me find sure knowledge that the things I've done, the white or black, and what these deeds will bring to me, follow always close behind, as certain as my shadow. Grant me then to stop even the slightest wrong of the many that I do, and to try to carry out instead each and every good of the many that I may. Bless me to see all that's wrong with the seemingly good things of this life. I can never get enough of them. They cannot be trusted. They are the door to every pain I have. Grant me then to strive instead for the happiness of freedom. Grant that these pure thoughts may lead me to be watchful and to recall what I should be doing. Bless me to make my core practice the vows of morality, for they are the root of the Buddha's teachings. I have slipped and fallen into this sea of the suffering life. Bless me to see that every living being, each one my own mother, has fallen into. Grant me to practice this highest wish for enlightenment, to take on myself the task for freeing them all. Bless me to see clearly that the wish itself is not enough. For if I'm not well trained in the three moralities, I cannot become a Buddha. Grant me then a fierce resolve to master the vows for the children of the victors. Bless me to quickly gain the place where quietude and insight join together, one which quiets the mind from being distracted to wrong objects, the other which accesses the perfect meaning in the correct way. Grant that when I have practiced well the paths shared and become a vessel that is worthy, I may enter with perfect ease the way of the Vajrayana. Then bless me to know with genuine certainty that when I have entered thus, the cause that gives me both the attainments is keeping my pledges and vows most pure. Bless me to practice as the Holy One has spoken, putting all my effort in and never leaving off the practice of the 4 times, highest that there is. Bless me and grant that the spiritual guides who've shown me this good road and my true companions on the path live long and fruitful lives. Bless me and grant that the vast rain of obstacles, things inside me or outside me that could stop me now, stop and end forever. In all my lives, may I never be separated from my holy lamas, and may I bask in the glory of the Dharma. May I fulfill every good quality of every level and path, and reach then quickly the place where I myself become Vajradhara. And it is for this purpose that we engage in this meditation, allowing this body to relax around the spine. Coming into a state of relaxation through floating down from the crown and softening the brow and around the eyes. And the jaw. Notice the sensation when all of your facial muscles are soft and relaxed. and into the back of your neck, across your shoulders. Taking a deep cleansing breath and letting the past and the future go. As you float down your arms, all the way to your fingertips. And then coming back up to begin to float down the torso, noticing your upper back and your chest. Your mid back, all the way to your sit bones. Your belly is soft, receiving the full breath. Floating down your legs, past your knees, all the way to the soles of your feet and the tips of your toes. Feel the places where your body touches the cushion, the seat. Allow a sense of stability and groundedness to arise. Safety in the arms of Mother Earth. Fully embodying this relaxed sense of groundedness. Establishing the body in a sense of relaxation and stillness. Begin to notice when stillness and movement are apparent. Feeling the presence of the body in your awareness. Without pushing any noises away, any sensations away. anything arising that is outside of the experience of the body. Leave them around the edges of awareness. Just taking the feelings of the body, in this moment by moment. And now, if you will, narrow your focus down to the attention of the rhythm of breathing. Just the feeling of the breath, wherever it manifests most distinctly for you, at the tip of the nose, or the rising and falling of the belly. Just the feeling of the breath, knowing when it is long or short, deep or shallow, doesn't matter. Letting the body breathe and attending to that sensation. Breath after breath. Letting the attention rest upon that flow. And when you are caught up in something, release the mind's grip on whatever it is. Loosen your grip and return to the breath. Aware of the difference in body and mind when you are grasping something versus merely attending to the sensation of the breath. Just the breath. Nothing to do. Nothing to force, nothing to want. Just the rising and falling of breath. Coming back to center again and again. It's just practice. Back to the sensation of the breath. If the mind is relatively stable, and you like, to simply let go of the breath and turn awareness to the space in which the breath arises and falls. The space of awareness itself. To find that space, it is sometimes useful to expand awareness in all directions, like a light shining out in all directions to reach the infinitude of space. And then gradually contracting back and resting where it feels natural to simply rest in awareness. allowing thoughts and feelings and emotions to simply arise, abide, and change and pass. Without getting involved in a story. See what it is that is arising as nothing but the play of mind. Simply repetition. And because the purpose of our meditation is to gain knowledge that will reliably produce happiness and eliminate suffering. And happiness comes from virtue. Then we turn to refuge and engage in our practice. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment, to the mind of enlightenment, to seeing emptiness directly, and to the Arya beings who have. May I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment, with confidence in the knowledge that the nature of my own mind is wisdom. Its expression is clarity, and its compassion is all pervasive. May I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. May all beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings find good rebirths and the bliss of liberation. I will help us to have these. Please, Guru Buddha, bless me to be able to do this. And our Guru, who is appearing as Shakyamuni Buddha, we make this strong request. Oh, magnificent and precious root Guru, please abide on the lotus and moon seat above my head. Guide me with your great kindness and grant me realizations of your holy body, speech, and mind. We have this experience of our Lama, a light body, an enlightened Buddha above the crown of our head. And as we request these blessings, allow a shower to come down through the crown of your head as you are filled with these realizations on the path to enlightenment. May I be inspired by Guru devotion, uplifted by the preciousness of this human life, shed the fetters of attachment and aversion through a knowledge of impermanence, be protected by refuge, guided by a knowledge of actions and their results, aim for liberation through renunciation. May I be motivated by bodhicitta, opened by giving, disciplined by ethical behavior, strengthened by patience, enthused by joyous effort, stabilized by concentration, and freed by wisdom. And now we make this request. Oh, magnificent and precious Root Guru, please abide on the lotus and moon seat at my heart. Guide me with your great kindness and stay with me always until I attain enlightenment. And so now your Lama, as Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, melts into a sphere of light and begins to descend down through the crown of your head, slowly descending, a warm sphere of light that is filled with love, compassion, wisdom, and joy, comes to rest at the level of our heart. And as we inhale, that light is energized. And as we exhale, it begins to expand. Allowing that warm, loving light to completely fill your body from head to toe. And know that you are loved. And it is your nature to love. Experience that light becoming uncontainable and the experience of it passing through all of your pores in all directions, sending out this loving light. Love is wishing the beloved to have happiness at all of its causes. Allow it to fill the room. And to go beyond the confounds of the house, out into the towns, into the shops and the schools, into the homes, into the hospitals, into the prisons, removing all the causes of sorrow and giving all the causes of joy. Making no distinction between the saint and the sinner, the high and the low, the rich and the poor. You may take a moment to bring to mind some circumstance or person with whom you have had difficulty. Perhaps going into the seats of government, shining the light of love, taking away greed and ignorance and hatred, transforming it into love and sending it out in all directions. Imagining a world filled with joy, where nature's beauty surrounds us and everyone we meet inspires us with their generosity and love. Our goal is to live in such a world, and where we don't find it, to help create it. Allowing this light to continue to expand out until it fills the infinitude of space. And then gradually, like breath on a mirror, contracting back. Until once again it's a small sphere of light, the light of love that always rests right there at the center of your being. And simply rest there, beyond concepts, in a state of feeling this love. How wonderful. And when you're ready, gradually begin to come back into this body. I want us to go into rooms. And I have a question, which I'll let Angela, if I can figure out. There it is. The question is, if a friend asked you, what is meditation? And how does it benefit you? How would you respond?
The other people. Where are the other people?
They're all here.
Oh,
We're a small group today because, for many reasons. I like to say it's because it's the holiday, but also, in time, interest wanes and it comes and goes. So anyway, so tell me.
well, I think that for me, meditation it serves two purposes. One is that I have kind of a naturally speeded up brain. It's like my biochemistry says, oh, let's think about this and let's think about that. But what happens with meditation is that I'm able to slow down enough where I can watch my thoughts, which is very good practice for being out in life. Because when I can't watch my thoughts, I have my attention on myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I can watch my thoughts, I can say, just back off, girl, and listen to what this person's saying and be with them. You know your story, but let's listen to theirs. So it actually helps me to do that, to slow down and really be with people in a deep and profound way that if I wasn't meditating, I don't think I have the wherewithal to do that without the tool.
Mm-hmm. 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 Gordon?
For me, it is becoming a place to know that I am loved and that I have love for others.
Mm-hmm.
And often in my little busyness of my world, I forget that. I'll overlook it or I don't notice it or something. But in the meditation, even though my mind is busy as ever, there's moments in there where I can actually know that I am loved and that I have love for others.
Beautiful. Yeah, really good. Someone else want to share?
Well, okay.
Here we go.
I guess I've been taught that it is useful for training your mind for getting an awareness of where your mind goes, what you're thinking. If you get distracted, to understand that, to bring yourself back. I think it's just, I think, awareness of what you do think about and understand, like things like when you are grasping or, just really getting to know yourself better. And the benefit would be, I think ultimately there through practice, there would be, a real calmness of state of mind. And, you have more awareness of yourself.
True. Yeah, the word for meditation in Tibetan is gom, G-O-M. And literal translation is to become familiar.
Oh,
So really what we are is becoming familiar with our object of meditation. You know, we become familiar with our mind, as you say. We begin to know who we think we are and what are these ongoing thoughts that repeat time and time again. You know, this circle of repetition, the stories that we tell ourselves over and over and over again. So it's really becoming familiar with mind, because it is mind that creates our world. So this would be the reason to become familiar with mind. Because to become enlightened, which simply means purified and perfected, then to be purified and perfected is Buddha or Sangye. Purified of what? Of that which produces unhappiness. What's perfected? That which produces happiness. So if we think of it like that, it becomes quite simple. So we see that what's arising in the mind that is producing unhappiness, when we're meditating and we see something arising and we actually don't engage, we also see it go. We begin to have an idea that unless we grasp it, it doesn't have any energy to stay. And that's how we purify and perfect. So when something is arising that is beneficial, we can augment it and rejoice in it. And then we're more inclined to do it again, to think it again. So this is how practice benefits us day in and day out, as we become more and more familiar with that which produces happiness and that which produces suffering. And thereby we augment one and eliminate the other. Yeah? Jiminy Cricket. Yeah.
Elaine?
In our group, she said
Oh.
that she feels energized after meditation. And the way you described it makes that make sense, because when we're not energizing those internal thoughts or stories, then we have all this energy for something else. So it was really lovely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good. Good. Very good. All right. Well, shall we dedicate all this good energy? And before we do, let me say that I am going to go home on Wednesday. And I know that Vajrapani does not have internet connection. So I'm going to test my connection at home. I'll be using my hotspot, which I have done in the past, but hopefully it will be strong enough to be able to have the meditation from home next Monday. And if it turns out that it's not, I will let you know, and we'll postpone until Vajrapani has the tower back up. That's what happened, that the cell tower burned. So they say maybe 2 weeks, something like that. You know, they. So we'll see. But I will try, and it may be wobbly. You know, maybe it'll be wobbly and pixelated, and maybe not. We'll see. But I'll let you know. Okay, so and then maybe we'll take a break. But Angela said maybe better to check ahead of time and not just show up, and if it's not working, just go, okay, it's not working. In her great wisdom. Yeah, thank you, Angela. Okay, so let's, unless you have questions or comments, we'll dedicate. Okay? By merit of this virtue, may I become Buddha and lead all beings, everyone, into that enlightened state. May the precious Bodhi mind not yet born arise and grow, and may that born not decline, but increase more and more. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, find an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merit. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms, the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, there too may I remain to dispel the misery of the world. So let's also dedicate to the long lives of all of our spiritual masters. And that there may be peace and harmony around the world. That people may be well and grow their love. And if you have someone in your life who needs help now, dedicate to their welfare. Okay, my dear ones, thank you so much.